What's going on, you guys? What is going on? What is going on? This is your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new story time. All right. So let me let you guys know something here. So I've decided because there is no housewives on right now, and I really don't be having nothing to do on Sundays unless there's like something big going on in the blogs and things like that. I decided that maybe up until housewives come back, I'll probably be doing like story times on Sunday nights, late nights like this. I'll probably be doing story times and stuff like that. So I think that's probably the best thing to do it. I have seen shit and heard shit, and I feel like because there are some people that do complain about me talking about, when I do my reviews and I talk about like some of my real life experiences and things like that, how I put them, how I inject them in some of my reviews to let you guys know why my opinions are what they are. Some people don't like that. So I said, why not do some story times? Why not do that? And maybe then it'll keep me from putting a lot of my personal into my reviews. Sometimes I can still do it if I relate, but some people don't want to hear it. So I decided to just do a story time. And I've decided to, and that I used to do story times back in the day, but they was under under another name. It was called Bitch, Are You Serious? And that was me talking about the what the fuck moments in my life. Like, have you ever had like a what the fuck moment that happened? You'd be like, bitch, are you serious? But because I have kind of bad back off the B word and stuff like that, I said I'm just gonna change it to story time with Scotty by Nature TV. That is the best thing for me to do. If I'm trying to switch it up and make this a respectable brand, then I gotta switch it all up, right? Right. Okay. So that's what we doing. So I decided if I'm gonna do a story time, why not start off my story time by talking about what's actually happening to me right now at this current moment. And if you see the title of this video, the title is Story Time, Closing a Chapter and Starting a New Beginning. Okay. So, y'all do know about my recent decision. So, what I'm going to do is tell it in story form. I got to give you guys the background, how this stuff even got started, all those things. So, the year is 2021. Me and Jamar are on the high. The prelude is doing really well. We're getting interview after interview from all these web series people. It's like we're doing interviews every week at this point. Like we were booked every week back then. My uncle is here and he's terminally ill. He has cancer. All in the midst of the prelude and the Whether You Like It or Not panel, the first cast of the Whether You Like It or Not panel. Jamar moves to Atlanta. And then after my uncle passes, we start seeing, I started going like into a little rough patch or whatever, right? It was a little financial rough patch. That's all it really was. It really wasn't that deep, but I started to get stressed. And not only was it like a financial slump for me because of me having to take care of everyone, but it was also family drama that was going on. Like, women, cousins that I looked at like aunts, they're now feuding with my mom at this point. And it's stressful and it's negative and it's not making me feel good. And it's, I'm already unhappy with other things that's going on around me, and that's making me even more unhappy. So I make the decision to, Jamar was like, listen, come to Atlanta for a weekend. We're going to hang out. We're going to take your mind off of these things. Come to Atlanta. I take off a weekend in August to hang out with Jamar and everybody else. So I remember that first time I came to Atlanta. I hadn't been to Atlanta in about a couple of months because Jamar and I had just hung out in November 2020 for his birthday in Atlanta. And I think the last time I had been at that point was 2 years prior to that. So I hadn't been in a while. And I came there, and I remember one of the first things I did, we had this little brunch. My best friend Ramon, shout out to him, he cooked all the food, and I invited Jamie, Sakina, and House of Aaron. We were all meeting for the very first time. Amazing. Beautiful relationships, beautiful friendships started to grow from that. And I think we visited Carl and Tremel that weekend. Like, we had a great time. It was very short, but it was a good time. And then I met Rox for the very first time. We went to the Cheesecake Factory. I would never forget it. We was at the Cheesecake Factory, and I was so starstruck by Rox sitting across from her at the table. Like, she was saying, "You need to come on and move here. It ain't nothing out there in them sticks where you need to come out here and move. We can do this all the time." She was telling me. And Jamar was like, "I'm trying to get him to do it. I'm trying to get him to do it." But at that time, I couldn't. In my mind, I really couldn't do it because I was taking care of everything. Like, I was the one, I was the backbone. I was doing everything. Um, my mom had retired from the post office. She had an injury and she couldn't do that work anymore. So it was like, for a little bit, I had to sit there and, she was looking for jobs in her field. My mama got 2 degrees. Okay. 2, a bachelor's and a master's. My mother has 2 degrees, but she was working at the post office, and she decided that, thank you, Michelle's daughter. I haven't seen you up in here in a while. But she had these 2 degrees in social services, and she was looking for a job in her field. And this is Mississippi. It's hard to come by. Like, if you got a job, keep it for as long as you can, because it's hard to find a job around here, and it's hard to keep one around here, and it's hard to find one that will pay you what you work. So she was looking for jobs, and I was just working. I think I came back to Atlanta that same year in October, right? For Jamar's movie premiere. Came back in October. I met Jamar's mom for the first time, even though Jamar and I had been friends for a long time by this point. But I had met Jamar's mom, and then it was cool. So that began me coming to Atlanta a lot. Like, I started coming back to back all the time at this point. And so that was October. And then I came to Atlanta again for my birthday that February of 2022. And then I came back again for the Boss Baby Wars, the very first Boss Baby Wars. And then I came back that, I was just coming back and forth all the time. Because at this point, Jamar is already my best friend. So I'm hanging out with Carl. I'm hanging out with Tremel. I'm hanging out with Aaron. I'm hanging out with Jamie. I'm hanging out with Sakina. I'm hanging out with all these different people now. And so I'm hanging out with Ondario, all these different people. I'm able to go to the Chasing Atlanta tapings and stuff like that and see how it goes. Like, I'm doing little things here. And I was just going there so much. And Jamar kept saying, "You need to move. You need to move. You need to move. You need to move." But I wouldn't, because, again, my mama wasn't in the best of places at the time. So I did not want to leave her. But I knew that I wasn't happy, though. I knew I wasn't happy with this whole thing. Like, I wanted to go. Like, I was ready to go. And it felt like every time I was getting ready to go, something always happens. And I felt forced to stay, because I always said, if I ever had any kids, I may not get that emotional part right, but that providing part will be definitely good, because I am a provider in a sense. Like, I provide for everybody. Like, like I said, I've helped my mom. Like, I helped her with my brother and things like that, and I will still do that to this day. And that's just what it was. So I was dealing with some things at that time. This was 2022. So it wasn't bad. Like, times wasn't completely bad, but it wasn't all that great. But I knew I wasn't happy. And I kept hearing every time I come to Atlanta on Dario, when you moving? Jamar, when you moving? Tremel, when you moving? Carl, bitch, you need to move. That's all I kept hearing every time I came here. Jamie, boy, when is you gonna move here? Sakina, you need to move here. Aaron, so are you moving or not? That's all I hear every time I come there. So then Danita died January of 2023. That was my girl. That was my big sis. I made her mod. And she was like a person that was always like putting things in my head to really do, like in a good way, not in a bad way, but she was always instilling things in me. Like she was reading one of my books, right? And in the midst of it, she was talking with a publisher, an independent publisher, to see if I could get them published. We were literally working on that weeks before she passed. Like she was reading my books and she enjoyed my books. And when she passed, I was taken aback. It was so difficult because I had just lost my cousin literally a year prior to that, because my cousin and my aunt died 2 weeks apart in January of 2022. And the person that was calling me all the time, besides Jamar, besides Josiah, besides T, the person that was calling me all the time was Danita, trying to check in on me, trying to see how I was. Because I took my cousin's death very hard because he's like a brother to me. And I don't even think I'm really over it right now. I don't really think I am. Sometimes I find myself still dealing with that. But to each his own. This ain't the video for that. But yes, she was the one of the ones that was consoling me so much. So for her to pass literally a year later was a lot on me. And when she passed, it kind of trickled down to other things going on. She passed. I already was unhappy with everything. I was unhappy with my living situation. I was unhappy with my job. I was unhappy with my surroundings. I was just unhappy with family members. I was just unhappy. And I began to fall into a deep, dark depression. I was dealing with the death of Danita. I was dealing with my own mental health. I was dealing with people poking at me, trying to get a reaction out of me. I was dealing with that. I was dealing with the death of a friendship. I was dealing with finances, financial issues, due to me paying my bills and everybody else's. It was a lot on me. And I wasn't happy. If you watch my reviews on Queens of R&B back then, you probably wouldn't even know it. But I was dead during those reviews. I would probably break down and cry right before those videos, right before I go live. Like it was a constant every single day. I'm crying just because I got tears. Like every day. It was like that every day. And I remember it was a day, it was in May. It was like the second Thursday. And this was still 2023, second Thursday. I called into work. I said, I'm not going. And I did the same exact thing that I did on Christmas of 2022. I sat up in my bed and I looked at that dresser and I saw a bottle of pills sitting on that dresser and I was ready to take them. I was already ready to do that Christmas of 2022. But here I am now, a couple of months later. It's like 4 or 5 months later. in May of 2023. And here I am looking at that bottle of pills and I'm waiting. I'm getting ready to swallow them all. And I remember making a post on Instagram and Tremel called me, not even a minute or two after I made that post. Tremel called me. Number one, he told me to take it down. Number two, he said, "Now, what's wrong with you? I'm on my way to work. I got time to listen. What's wrong? You need to talk. You need to talk to me because I don't like that. What's going on?" And I talked to him. I told him everything that was going on. He gave me the best advice. And, he went into work. I hung up the phone. I cried. I put my face in that pillow, and it was nothing but a waterfall of tears in that pillow. So I had went to the flea market that day. I walked uptown to the flea market so I can clear my mind. Bought me a little lemonade or something, just trying to clear my mind because I had a lot of stuff going on. And this was maybe 2 weeks after the Boss Babe Awards. So you're telling me that I just won my first two awards for something that I care about a lot about, my work, my YouTube work, my podcast with Jamar, my channel itself. I win YouTuber of the Year for 2023 and Podcast of the Year with Jamar for 2023, and I'm unhappy. I just interviewed Candy a few months ago, and I'm unhappy. So I'm just like, what the, you know what I'm saying? So I was broken. I gotta admit that I was broken. Like, I just did not see myself coming out of it. I just didn't. And so I kept leaving. I would go to Houston, visit Josiah, hang out with him and Maddie, and then go to Atlanta and hang out with Jamar and them and just do that, going back and forth. And every time I thought things was going to get better, something else happens. I'm in Detroit, hanging out with Bubs the God. My friend Tiara, it's her birthday. I was too busy to make her a birthday post that year. So I wrote on her wall and I told her, "Happy birthday. I'll be making your post soon." About 3 days after, maybe not even 3 days, maybe 5 days after that, my friend was pow-powed by some I don't even know. Some weirdo took my friend from me, her family, her 3 kids. That broke me. Danita was enough. Tierra was another situation. So I screamed to the top of my lungs that night. And the next morning, I screamed some more. And I cried some more. Every time I thought about Tierra, I cried. What I will say is that when that happened, the more I was with her family and the more I was with her kids and the more I was, doing that, I was like, something got to change. I'm already unhappy, but I'm even more depressed now because this has happened. And I said, life is too short. I need to let some bygones be bygones. Even if I'm not friends with some of these people anymore, I'm willing to let it go. It's not that serious. I'll let it go. I'll let it go. I started off by reaching out to a couple of people that I felt wrong by, like an ex or friend or whatever. I reached out to them. My ex did not respond, even though he was wrong, but he didn't respond. And I was cool with that. I said my piece. I said what I needed to say. My friend asked to meet. Um, a situation with someone else happened, and I said, listen, no matter what has happened, I've lost a friend, and I don't want to be going through life with all these grudges. I just don't. Like, that was just me clearing my mind, clearing my heart of all the BS that I was already seeing or feeling. And then September we buried Tierra because we had to wait a while. And in October, my cousin Beverly had died of cancer in Chicago. She was from here but moved to Waukegan, and she died of cancer, breast cancer. None of us even knew she was sick. And death became so I've become so numb to it because I feel like I go to a funeral every single year. It's always somebody I'm grieving over, crying about, mourning. Is always somebody. And I was completely unhappy. And then I remember in November is when I met Bando, right? I remember when I first saw Bando on the way up Atlanta, because that's where I first saw him at. My friend DJ is on this show too. And I remember telling DJ, oh, your friend fine, blah, 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 blah. And I offered to promote Bando's music, and um he offered to pay me, and I didn't want him to pay me for obvious reasons. I didn't want him to pay me, but he paid me anyway. Like, he was like, "No, blah 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 blah. I pay you." He paid me twice, as a matter of fact. So he definitely paid me. Um, when I was promoting Bando's Dream, that was his first song I promoted, Bando's Dream. And then we met up at brunch that day. He came to brunch with me, me, Sakina, and Jamar. We all went to brunch that day. That's the first time anybody saw me on a picture with him. And then we posted on pictures, and people were just saying some shit. And I'm just like, bro, like, this is our first time even meeting in person. Like, that was literally our first time meeting in person. Now, we had been texting and stuff here and there, but that was our first time actually hanging out and meeting. And then we went out to a club later that night and things like that. And then I think after that, I think he called me and he asked me to come to his job. Yes, those pics, Sofa Dog. Um, I came to his job where he was bartending at, and you know what I'm saying? He gave me these drinks and his food that he normally orders, and it was really, really cool. So we created a connection from that point on. And it was so crazy because like I said, I remember when we took them first pics and everybody was like, "Ugh," and I'm like, this is my first time meeting this man. You know what I'm saying? So it was cool. And shut up, Prophet. But it was cool though. So then I went home the next day, and then I came home depressed because I didn't want to come home. So let's take it back a little bit. Let's take it back a little bit now. We in November, but we're rewinding it back soon. So it was April of 2023. My mother and I were having a conversation, and it was kind of emotionally charged. And I looked at my mama and I told her, I said, I don't know how you're going to feel about this. I don't know what you're gonna say about this, but at this point, it doesn't really matter because I gotta do it for me, and I just gotta be honest with you. I don't want to be here anymore. Like, I don't. Like, I'm not happy here anymore. I gotta go. I've decided that I'm gonna move to Atlanta. It's all about making me happy, and I'm gonna give myself a year to do so. I said it's April. By the late summer of 2024, I should be gone. I looked at my mama and I said that. I said, and that's giving you time to get on your feet. That's giving you some time to get yourself right, find you a better job, all those things. Because once I'm gone, I can no longer help you guys anymore because I have to help myself once I'm gone. So I'm giving you a year and some change to get it right, get yourself together, do all those things, and I'm gone. That was April 2023. Going back to November, but that like that whole Bando thing, the thing is, I already had a crush on Bando anyway. Like I had a crush on him anyway on from seeing him on auto on the way up. And when we went out to the club that night, he was like, we could have been hanging out. We could have been hanging out. We could have been hanging out a long time ago. And I said to him, I said, well, you didn't come to my birthday dinner. And then he said, you didn't tell me where your birthday dinner was. So I told him, I said, yes, I did. He said, no, you didn't. And then I said, let me go through this phone because I keep a receipt. Now, mind you, when I told DJ that I thought that Bando was fine, he put me and Bando in a group text so we could confront each other about it, right? So when we first interacted in January of 2023, um, he asked me, do I come to Atlanta? And I said, I come to Atlanta quite a bit. He said, when the next time you coming? I said, 2 weeks. He said, okay, what you doing? I said, I'm having a birthday dinner. You want to come? He said, if you tell me where it said, I'll come. I said, okay. Now, fast forward again to November 2023. We at the club, right? And he's like, we could have been doing this. You didn't invite me to your birthday dinner. I said, yes, I did. Let me go through my phone and find his receipt. So I looked through the group text. I said, oh, damn, I didn't tell you about the dinner. My bad. He said, see. I said, okay, my apologies. I'm sorry. I forgot. I thought I told you, but my bad. He said, if you would have told me where your birthday dinner was, I would have showed up. And I was like, okay, I got you. Noted. So, uh, it was something. I remember that night because he got us shots and stuff. Because I think it was some shots of Casamigos. Because he got me some shot. He got me a shot, him a shot, Jamar a shot. Then he bought us drinks and stuff, and it was just a good time that night. Because I still got the video of us dancing on the dance floor to Sexy Red Ski. It was so funny, but we had like a great time that night, and we pinky swear that night. we was like, I said something like, this not gonna be the last time, right? He was like, no, and then we did this. So, it was so funny. I think we pinky sweared. So um after that, um we I went to Houston the very next month in December to visit Josiah because he was having a birthday, not a birthday, but like a pajama party or whatever. And so I came back in January and this was the month that was the weekend that Chasing Atlanta was supposed to have their reunion, right? So they didn't have the reunion, it was canceled. So Bando and I hung out that weekend. We hung out, we went out to eat and things like that, had a great time. Always a great time. It was we were having a ball. And the first thing he said, remember what I said? He said something. He said, remember what I said the last time you saw me? I said, "What? Did I need to hurry up and bring my ass to Atlanta?" He said, "Yeah." I'm like, "It's coming. It's coming. Don't worry. It's coming." You know what I mean? So he said, "All right now, blah, 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 blah." So we was having fun that night. And then after the date, I think I went out with Carl, Jamar, and Tramel that same night. After I came back, because Jamar went out on a date, and then I went out with Bando that same day. So as Jamar was coming in the house, I was coming back out the house to go meet Bando at the steakhouse that we were going to. And then we had a great time. And then the trip was over. Came back in February, right? It's my birthday. Um, I get there on Dario. Bitch, when you moving? Like we're waiting. When are you moving? And I'm like, it's coming. Like it keeps happening. Like every time I come, everybody keeps asking me, when are you moving? When are you moving? When are you moving? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, like these people really don't believe me. Like they don't believe me. Like they don't think that I'm really gonna move. Like they don't believe me. But I'm not gonna keep on trying to convince them. I'm really gonna make some shake with this. But I don't know. It was something about my birthday week that really made my mood change. Because once again, I was going through it all last year. But once the new year started, my mood began to change and people started to see like a glow in me for whatever reason. People started to see a glow in me. People started to see me smile a lot more. My energy was changing in a sense to some people. Like everybody was starting to see like a transformation with me, and I couldn't see it, but everybody else was seeing it. And I think the actual day of my birthday, um, Bando invited me up to his job, and he made me drinks. He got me food. He had his coworkers sing happy birthday to me and shit, and all that stuff, right? It was so cute. It was so sweet, great time. We did a video. He was like, one time for the birthday bid, two time for the birthday bid. And then we did it twice because we so fucking goofy. We fucked it up the first time. And then Nikki came into town. And then I came back to his job maybe 2 or 3 days later with Nikki, Jamar, Tramel, and Carl. We had a great time. We were so fucked up in there. Let me tell y'all, if Beto ever makes you a drink, just know you're gonna be fucked up, okay? It's gonna be more than just a buzz. You're gonna be fucked up. So then I had my birthday dinner in the ATL, and just about everybody that I wanted to show up was there. Tramel, Carl, Nikki, Jamar, my cousin, Reggie, Sakina, House of Aaron, DJ, Dominique, Bando, my friend Steven, like everybody was there, and everybody was like, so all we trying to figure out is when is you moving? Like you need to move, you need to move. And I keep saying, I am. Why are y'all tripping? You know what I'm saying? So Bando said that to Nikki. Bando gonna tell Nikki, well, he need to get his ass on down here. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm waiting on. He need to get his ass down here. And so I think that very next day I left. The day after the dinner, I left and went back home. I was coming back in March because Bando had a music video that he was supposed to do, and I was supposed to be in it. But at this point, Bando hurt his foot. So we didn't get to hang out. However, I did come to his house for the first time, and I hung out with him. Like we were just hanging out at his house, right, with his leg propped up and stuff because his foot was hurting and shit. And I stayed there for a while, and then I left and I went to the airport and stuff. So, I spent my the last day there with him. So the very next time I was coming back was the Boss Babes. And I was nominated for 2 awards again this year. Bando was supposed to be my guess, but they wouldn't let him off of work because he had just started another job, so he couldn't get off, and which was fine because get your money. Um, so when we was at the Boss Babe Awards and he found out we didn't win, he was mad as shit. It was so funny. He was so mad. He said, you the real winner. I don't know who the fuck that other person was. Like, he was mad. Like, he even went on Instagram and shaded that person, which I said, now Bando, you did not have to do that. But it was so funny. It was funny as fuck. But we had a great time for Boss Babe. And then in May, I didn't go anywhere. June was his birthday was in June, but I didn't get to come there for his birthday because my friend's mom had just died. So I had to be there for the funeral. However, the day of his birthday, we was talking on FaceTime and shit like that. So he was like, aren't you coming back next month? And I said, yeah, I'm coming back next month. No, not next month. I'm coming back next week. That's when I'm coming back. And so when I got there, he had told me a couple of days prior that he was filming a show, another web reality show that weekend, where they have to be it's kind of like a Big Brother or Making a Band type of thing. It's like him and a couple of other artists. So we didn't get to see each other that weekend because he was locked up. By the time he got out and we could see each other, I was gone. But me and Jamar went to this wedding and my friend's wedding, and we had a great time there. So my friend Ramon was like, time is ticking. Like, it's almost that time for you to get here. Are you ready? And all this other stuff. And I was just like, of course, I've been ready. And then Bando had called me the day before their wedding because he was FaceTiming me while he was there. Like, even though I didn't see him, he was FaceTiming me while he was in there. And so it was so funny. Like, he was telling me a lot of stuff. But I left and I was coming back for vacation in July. And I said to him, look, when I come back, because I didn't get to hang out with you for your birthday, we're gonna hang out for your birthday. Like, and when I come back in July, although it's gonna be a month later, we still gonna do it because you did your thing for me. I'm gonna do my thing for you, whatever. Came back on the 19th or the 18th, I think. I think that was July the 19th or the 18th. I believe it was. I know it was a week after the concert, but I went to the concert first, and then it was cool. I had a great time at the concert. Y'all know that. I did a video about that. And then that very next week, I was going to Atlanta. So yes, I did come on the 19th. Soon as I flew in, he texted me, asked me had I made it. I was like, yeah. So we had an Airbnb, and it was me, Nikki, Tiffany, Carl, and Shannon. Tremel didn't stay at the Airbnb. He didn't stay. But the rest of us did. And so Jamar stayed, and then Bando came. That's where you saw us. If y'all was on our Instagram, you saw that video of us singing to each other. We was at the Airbnb that night, and we had a great time. We was getting drunk, just having a great time. And the very next day, he fell asleep there too, because I didn't even remember him falling asleep there. I remember him waiting on his Uber to come, but I didn't remember. I woke up in bed and I was like, how the fuck I get up here? And then I text him that next morning and I said, look, I don't even remember going upstairs. How the fuck did I get here? He said, I literally just left. He said, I called for an Uber last night and I fell asleep on the couch talking to you, because he was sitting on the couch. I was sitting in the chair on the side of him. And then I was just waiting on him to get his Uber so I can go to bed. But I guess we both fell asleep up in the living room. I don't know. And then next thing you know, I woke up and I was in bed, but he was gone. He said he fell asleep. We both fell asleep downstairs, but I don't know how the fuck I got upstairs. I still don't know how I got upstairs. But it was funny though. He left, went to work, and then I think that was Saturday. And then Sunday, he invited us up to his job, right? And we got drunk at his job. And then we all migrated after he clocked out. And then we went over to Carl and Tremel's apartment, and the party continued there. So we had been drinking for days, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we were drinking. Monday, that Monday we hung out, me and him hung out alone. We went to whatever restaurant he wanted to go to. We hung out for his birthday, and then we, after that we was having a good time. And then, for the rest of the week I was seeing everybody that I hadn't seen. I was hanging out with Sakina. I was hanging out with Aaron, and I was hanging out with Justin Diego as well. And I think that Saturday, the day of Aaron's housewarming, I was hanging out with Bando right before that because he had to go to the studio, and then I left and went to Aaron's housewarming party. So then, I hate calling him binge worthy because that's not his name. His name is Justin. Justin asked me when I was moving, and then I said, when I get home, I got to get on my transfer papers once I get home. So, okay. The next day, I get up to go home. I get up, get my bags together, and then I go in Jamar's room. I hug him, and I said, listen, this is my last trip, but the next time I'm here, it's forever. And he was like, yeah, friend, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'll be so glad when you get here, for real, whatever. And then Carl and Tremel, they said the same thing and all that. So I got in my Lyft to go to the airport. I text Bando to tell him that I was headed to the airport because I was getting ready to leave. And he was on his way to work, and he was like, okay, well, you have a safe flight back home. And I was like, I will. Thank you so much for that. And I get to the airport. And it's like when I got there, normally whenever I leave Atlanta, or even Houston for that matter, I tear up when I get ready to leave because I don't want to go home. And so this time I didn't tear up. I wasn't depressed. I wasn't crying. I wasn't doing any of those things. Like, I actually went to the airport with a smile on my face. It's something about this last trip. I don't know what it is. It's the energy of that last trip. I don't know what it is, but that trip really did something to me in all aspects. Like, it made me look at things in a different way. I would say that me and Bando grew even closer after the trip. And then it was just like, I could say that about Carl and Tremel too. Like, I was already close to these people anyway, but I got even close. It felt more close after this trip. So it's just something about this trip. I just don't know what it was that made me just felt different from any other trip that I went on. And even when I got back to work, like, people were looking at me and it was saying to me, like, you look so happy. Like, I've never seen you this way. Like, you look so happy, you glowing. It just seemed like you are in a very different place. Like, you seem very happy. That's all I've been hearing since I got back. So Tuesday I return to work and I give them my form. Now, I'm gonna tell you, I thought that when I give them this form, It was gonna be, here y'all go, fuck you hoes. I don't give a fuck about you hoes. Here go the form. Here you go. Fuck y'all, whatever. But it's like when I gave them the form, it was bittersweet. It was bittersweet. It was very bittersweet when I gave them their form. It's like I say all the time, I hate these people. I hate this job. But it's like I've been at this job for 7 years. 7 years and some change. I've been at this job. I've grown with these people. I've been at this job since I was 28. I had just turned 28 when I got this job. And I'm 35. And now I'm about to leave these people that some of them I don't like, but some of them I adore. Like, I love coming to work, seeing their faces every day. And now I'm leaving them. And now I'm about to be transferred somewhere else where I have to get to know another crop of people. And that's tough for me, but I always hear this all the time. In order to grow and in order to get better, you may have to be placed in uncomfortable predicaments in order to do that. So that's how I look at it. Not only did I feel bittersweet about that, the job part, but then I had to come home and I had to think about it. In a couple of weeks, I'll be leaving my mama behind and I'll be leaving my baby brother behind. Two people I can't live without. I'm my mother's oldest son, oldest child. I'm the oldest. I've been through the most with my mom. I've been my mom's I've been my mom's protector. I've been her rock. I've been her go-to. I've been her Superman. Um, this is where I start getting emotional and I can feel the goosebumps on my arm. But we've been through a lot of stuff, me and my mama. Like, it really starts at the age of 4. I told this story before. My mom was held at knife point by a complete stranger who broke into our home and he tried to RAPE her in my presence at the age of 4. And it was me that was there to protect my mom. If I wasn't there, he probably would have done whatever he wanted to do. It was me who was her protector when she was with my stepdad and she was going through DV. It was me that was her protector. It was me who stepped in when nobody else did. It was me who stepped in when, even though my stepdad was in the home, he wasn't providing for my brother. And when she didn't have it, I had it to give. If she fell short, I was there. If she failed, I was there to pick her up. I always held my mama down in any situation. Now, if she was fucking up, I'd tell her. I'd tell her. But all in all, pretty much always have been my mama's ride or die. Always. Um, Same thing for my brother. My brother is 11 years my junior. Um, we've been stuck together for since the day he was brought home. We've been stuck together like glue, and even more stuck as grown men now. I remember when my brother was in elementary school, he had a project, and my mama couldn't get off of work to be there to see him do it, and I came and sat in her place. Um, I remember my brother was getting ready to graduate from high school, and he had a senior project to present. My mama couldn't be there, but I was there. Um, I remember being so excited when my brother went to the prom. I was more excited for him than he was for his own self. I remember his very first prom. I was so damn excited. I remember like picking my brother up from school, taking him to school, taking him and his friends to school, picking him and his friends up from school, taking them to McDonald's, buying them whatever the fuck they wanted. All those things. Um, I remember when he got his first job. I remember all that. My brother is in the room right next to me right now. Um, my little brother is really like my best friend, like for real, for real. Like that's like my best friend. Like I love my brother to death. Like out of all my siblings, that is my top. That's a top tier because you know I don't really be fucking with my siblings like that. But my baby brother, that's top tier. I will always, always hold him down. And I thought about them too, and I was like, this is gonna be so hard. I'm ready to go, but I don't want to leave them. It's gonna be so difficult not seeing their faces every day. It's gonna be so hard. But I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for me because I want to grow. I want to be happy. I want to be able to succeed and soar and do those things. I need a new scenery. I need a new surrounding. I need all those things. And I feel like I'm not going to get that here. So I got to go. And the crazy thing is, early on in this live, I said that I told my mom that I was giving her a year and some change to get herself right. Guess what? In April, my mother started a new job that pays her a pretty penny. Okay. Way more than what she was earning at her first social work job. Like she really, really making the big money right now. My brother just got promoted to assistant manager at his job. So it's like I'm leaving on a high note. It's like I'm leaving on a note that I wanted to leave on. It's like I'm leaving with everybody being okay. It's like I'm leaving with everybody being in a decent space. And now I don't have to worry about them because they're good. And it makes this situation better for me because I know that they're okay. According to my job, my last day there is the 28th of August. My first day working in ATL should be September 2nd on a Monday. So that means I only have a couple of more weeks to go. And it's not hitting me yet. It's not hitting me yet, but I think it will once that day hits. And it's like I'm closing a chapter in my life. Like I spent all my days, 35 years in Mississippi. And I've never been away from my mom or my brother for a long period of time, no more than a week. Because even when I was going to college and I was staying on campus, I was only gone for 5 days. Like I come back every damn weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like every weekend. So it ain't like I was gone for a long period of time. I was only gone for 5 days. I come back Friday, leave out Sunday. I was only gone for that long period of time. So, you know, it ain't that deep. It wasn't that deep then. So this is different. I'm trying to put shit together, like put together this big party with all my friends and family and stuff. Trying to put something together like quick, fast, in a hurry before I go, so I can see everybody. Um, I'm very excited. Um, I remember the day I got the news. Um, of course, the first person I text was Bando, and he was like, "Now that's what's he's not a man of a lot of words, but he was like, yeah, that's what's up." He was like, "That's what's up. It's almost that time. We're counting down the time. Tick, tick, tick. We count down the time." Tramiel was excited. Carl was very excited. Jamar was excited. Like, my friend Raymond was excited. And the thing about it is, with this move to Atlanta, I won't be by myself. I have a village. Um, Once again, Bando, Jamar, Tramiel, Carl, DJ, Aaron, Jamie, Sakina, Steven, Raymond, my cousin Keisha, my cousin Reggie. Um, I have a lot of Andario. Um, have a lot of people in my corner who's ready for me to be there. So, it's rocks. I gotta text her. As a matter of fact, I gotta text her and tell her, because she did tell me the last time we was together, to let her know when I'm getting ready to move. I gotta text her tomorrow. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna text her tomorrow. But everybody's been so happy for me. Everybody's been so supportive. And I appreciate that. It makes this whole transition very, very easy. Um, I know that I've been getting questions. So let me say this. Somebody asked me, "Are you moving to Atlanta to be with Bando?" So let me just say that this decision was made a year ago. This decision was made months before I even laid eyes on Bando in person. Let's just say that. Let's just say that this was gonna happen whether he was around or not. So I don't want it to look like, oh, Scotty moving away for a man. No, no, that's not it. It was gonna happen regardless. It was gonna happen regardless of whether or not I was talking to him or not, or being with him or not. So that just only adds more spark to it. Like, yeah, like that, like Parker Boy said, it's just a bonus. Thank you, Jay Lee. Um, it's a bonus, you know. So my reasons for moving was really for me and my happiness. It's just that one of my many trips to ATL, I met Bando and it became what it is. So it's just an added bonus to me moving. That's all that really is. But I can say that I'm my happiest when I'm there. And I know that that's where I'm supposed to be. That is exactly where I'm supposed to be. and I feel good about my decision. I'm not regretting my decision. Um, my decision is just what it is. It's my decision. And I'm never going to second guess that. It's scary, yes, because I'm doing this by myself. Although I have support, I'm doing this by myself. So it's scary as hell. This is my first big move as an adult. But I gotta do it for me. And with everything that has happened from Danita passing to um Tierra passing, Martell passing, my cousin Martell passing, um, all these different people, my childhood friend Jeremy passing this year. Like so many people that I love and adore have passed. And it just shows me how short life really is, and how it's very important to do things that make you happy. So I'm doing this to make me happy. And I know I'm making the right decision. I know I am. So be that as it may, Scotty is closing a chapter of his life, but he's starting a new beginning. And I'm welcoming this change with open arms. I'm welcoming this with open arms. I'm grateful for the support. I'm grateful for everybody that has been looking out. My mama is crying every day. She has cried every fucking day. She cried today. I want her to stop. I'm not gone yet. Please stop. But my mama been crying every day because she doesn't want me to go. But it's like she wants me to go, but she don't want to. She don't want me to. My mama is a Cancer. They're crybabies. I was like, girl, stop crying. I told her, I've been saying that all day. I was like, girl, stop crying. Please stop crying. But, you know, I have been vlogging this experience the best way I know how. I've been vlogging this experience, and you know, that's just what it is. But I got to tell y'all that I'm happy. I promise you, I promise you I am. And it's taking so much out of me not to get all emotional and shed some fucking tears and shit. Like it's taking so much out of me, but I'm not gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. I refuse. But excuse me. I'm happy. I'm happy. Life could not be any better for me. It ain't perfect, but I've seen worse. I've seen worse things. And to think that to think to think that this time last year I didn't want to be here. Like I didn't want to be here. Like I wanted to die last year. I wanted to die. I didn't want to be on this planet anymore. And I say it all the time. 2023 was probably the worst year of my life. The worst. I thought 2019 was bad and I was homeless, but 2023 was horrible emotionally. Horrible. But I still here and I made it through. And the opportunities are steady coming. Like my ass didn't even want to be here. And now I'm doing something that I've been wanting to do for a minute now. And that's change the scenery. So I thank y'all. I love you guys. I appreciate your support. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate it all. I have a purpose and I have a reason to be here. And I want y'all to also thank those that surround me that saved me. Um First things first, I do want to give them some shout outs because I'm giving them shout outs because you guys know them. Patches for one. Okay, I ain't gonna go into him, but Patches for one. He's always giving words of encouragement and all those things. Um, I love my prophet, I love my soulful dog, I love my Sharice, my Too Feisty, all my mods, I Breathe TV, all my mods, love y'all. Love y'all down, okay? Love y'all down. Y'all keep this chat going all the time. And I appreciate you guys. As far as the people in my life that I care so much for and so deeply for, I want to give them shout outs right now. Tramiel for saving me when I wanted to do something crazy to myself last year. You saved me. If you didn't call me, I don't know what would have happened. Carl for making me laugh in the times where I don't want to. In the times where I don't want to laugh, I don't want to smile, I don't want to do anything. Thank you, Jamar, for being my best friend. I met you right here on YouTube. And if anybody want to know if there's any real genuine friendships on YouTube, me and Jamar are living proof that it is. I met him on here in 2013, and it's 11 years later, and Jamar and I are still best friends to this day. Josiah, shout out to him. Every time I come to Houston, he opens his home to me. He introduced me to his friends. Now his friends are now my friends. Josiah is like a little brother to me. He's like one of my best friends. Another example of a true friendship that got started right here on YouTube. Shout out to Terrence. Terrence made me open to giving the YouTube friendships another chance. After everything that happened with fuck it. Everything that happened with King of Reeds and things like that, and how our relationship dissolved the way that it did, I did not want to be friends with no more YouTubers anymore. But T, for whatever reason, he came through, kicked my doors down like he was Monica, and I really appreciate T. Maddie for being that big brother to me. Although sometimes the personalities may clash sometimes, but the love is just unconditional. Like I really, really fuck with Maddie, love Maddie to death. Jamie for being a big sister to me, a real genuine friend to me. Like, baby, um, you can tell that we're real friends, baby. I was at a baby shower. So that goes to let you know what type of friendships that what type of friendship we got. So shout out to her. Love Jamie. Really B for also being like a big sis. confidant, good friend. Um, really B has been there for me in so many ways that I can't even imagine. Y'all just don't know. Her and Mims. Mims as well. He's another one. When my friend passed away, he made it his business to do something for my friend's kids and, also look out for me and during that time and stuff like that. Like Mims has been there through the ringer with me. So shout out to Mims. Shout out to Sakina for being my little sis. We have really grown close over the last 2 years. And I really appreciate her vibrance and her personality and all those things. Um, Shout out to House of Aaron for being my little brother, unproblematic, um, friend, little bro, all those things. Shout out to him. Um, Always ready for a turn up. Always ready for the next thing, and I love it. Um, Ashley is like my big sis. Her and Bundy Blue and Forest Rocks. The three of them have always been in my corner, and I appreciate them. Um, Ebby, YB, Cat, L Teddy, love you guys. Um, Busy Blue, he works my nerves, but I love him though. Like he really works my nerves. But I love him down though. Like it's all love over here with Busy. Like we argue like a married couple, but we still have this great relationship and I love him. Um I hope I don't forget nobody. Undario, thank you for just being you. Always allow me to be in the chasing spaces all the time. Um Always another one ready for the turn up every time I come to Atlanta. So I appreciate it. Um Shout out to Chef Dun Dun and Jeremy Speaks. We went through the ringer together before with this LAMH stuff and we became really good friends and it's always love. Shout out to Harviana. Um he was someone that I watched from a distance and I did not think that I would like him, but he's a really sweet person. I met him in person. He's very sweet. Um if I'm not mistaken, Aaron Wiles out. He's like a little brother to me. Um we bumped heads quite a bit at the beginning, but we really have a great relationship. He could talk to me about anything, and I'm always going to be there for Aaron Wiles out to give him that advice and stuff like that. Like I'm always going to look out for him. Always. It's just once I got to know Aaron for myself, I got to see who he really was and all those things. Bubs the God. I don't even have to explain that. We already know. Love him. That's been one of my great friends forever. Even dated at one point in time, but that's one of my dear friends. I've known him just as long as I've known Jamar. Great person, always. And last but not least is Bando. Um, Bando came in my life when I was at my darkest. Okay, he came in my life at my darkest time. Okay, like dark time. Um, he has brought me so much joy. Um, he's one of the biggest reasons why I smile these days. And no matter what his exterior is on the outside, I know what it is on the inside. And he's a great person. Like I really, really adore him. He is amazing. And I wouldn't ask for anything. Um It's just like, um, it's like whenever I speak of him, it's like I always say, when I lost all hope, he came around. It's, how Monica said on Angel of Love, like, when I lost all hope, you showed me love. Like, that's that, because I did. At the time I met him, I lost all hope on everything, life, all those things. When I met him, I had lost all hope. But he came in and just, changed my outlook on a lot of things. So I appreciate him for just being there for a lot of things. Whether it's the turn up, whether it's a sad moment, whether it's any kind of moment, he's always there. So I appreciate that. He's just he's just a great person. That's all that matters. Like, I don't really get too deep into um I don't really get too deep into our relationship because I don't think it's really anybody's business. But I know the pictures we take and the shit we post of each other, and that, of course, tongues wag, people talk, people assume, people do whatever. But what I don't do, I don't just get into like the ins and outs of it. Like, even when I talk about it, I keep it surfaced. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really, nobody really knows anything. They just see it. Because I don't say anything. So I appreciate you guys, though. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody in this chat. Y'all really sat here and listened to this story time. But I just needed to say it. I need to say all these things. I do. And it was 300 of y'all up in here. So y'all really wanted to hear what I had to say and what I'm talking about. So, you know, but I'm about to go, y'all. I gotta go to the dentist in the morning and stuff. And I gotta be prepared for that. So I will, where my phone at? So I'll talk to you guys another time. And that's about it. So I'll holler at y'all. I love you guys. And I will talk to you another time. Bye, y'all.